Ladies and gentlemen, 12 games today. That's 24 teams that played NBA basketball today. Matrix has already fired up a recap of that, which you'll check in the video before this. But tomorrow, today, whenever you're watching this, 3 games, 6 teams. It's a ripper streaming day. We'll check out this and a little bit more right after this. Hello and welcome back to Ball Logic. I'm your host this evening, The Horse, and joining me is a man who's drinking tins, dancing like he's on TikTok. It's Matrix. How you doing?
Mate, I am in my element. There was actually a lot of basketball played today. Got to keep up, got to do the recap, and pretty excited. Like, it should be a relatively short show just to hit the transaction trends, work on who we're adding in these, I suppose, these 6 teams that are playing tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet, I don't know why, but like, subscribe, bell, give us a thumbs up as well. It helps us get out into the algorithm that is NBA fantasy. But also, if you're listening to us on audio, 5-star reviews help us get into the ears of those that love a little bit of banter along with their NBA fantasy knowledge. So, as we stated earlier, Matrix, you dropped a solo, 24 teams, 12 games, talking about who did well, who didn't, if people want to check that out.
Yeah, it's like probably 24 teams in 24 minutes. Did drop who I thought could be ads, probably working on like the longer term, not so much the schedule, but just with like who's injured, who had great games today, whether I think they're rosterable or whether I think they're fool's gold, to quote Hammer. So
Love it. Love it. We'll bring up our daily graph here, mate. As we can see, today was a mega bumper. 12 games today, 24 teams. Tomorrow, only three games. So, pardon me. It's going to be very important that if you're choosing to stream or choosing to use your waiver wire, that tomorrow is probably one of those days where you could perhaps get a one-up on your opponent, Matrix, given that you could potentially squeeze some extra games in.
Yeah, tomorrow's a big one, which is why, like, after doing the recap, I just felt like it was really important to do this one. And it might be shorter, but these 6 teams that are playing are probably the most important, because I don't know about you guys, but I had certain people that I had to sit today with how many teams were playing, which was a bit annoying because I did get my start sit wrong at times. But tomorrow, basically, everyone you stream, even if you think they're like a second tier or not somebody that you can hold, still might be just worth getting that bump, and we'll tell you what categories they can improve for you.
For sure. We're going to get stuck straight into tomorrow's games, mate. So let's get into it. We're talking three games, 6 teams. The first team, the Raptors, they're versing the Cleveland Cavaliers. So they tactically rested a lot of players today. So Jalen Tyson was out with concussion-like symptoms. Donovan Mitchell, he had a bit of a rest. Evan Mobley had a bit of a rest. They still had a win today, believe it or not. But they're up against a Raptors team that they're actually plodding along all right.
I actually don't mind the Raptors. I like them a lot better with Jakob Poeltl in there. But I think with the way all the earlier teams were structured, it's pretty hard to add a Raptor. I actually don't find them a very deep team. I think that they have 6 viable players for fantasy. And outside of that, and like, I know this is a show where, but I don't want to bullshit the listeners. I don't want to tell them that they need to go add a Raptor. I just think, like, some people have added the Raptors because they did play in all the low volume days this week. In all the fantasy leagues I'm in, I can't find any value at all out of the Raptors. So when I do look to people, it's probably for the Cavs, and I'm going to be watching that late injury report to see if all the stars back up. But Lonzo was good today for, honestly, just 1 steal, but usually he's good for some steals. Was good when it comes to assists. Craig Porter Jr., Tyrese Proctor, like, these guys are guys that you can add if the stars aren't ready.
Bang on. Love it.
Hunter's not even rostered in every league. Like,
no, he's not.
Somebody. He's been Like, what's he come off a 30 piece and a 21 today? Like, he is
Mm-hmm.
somebody that you can roster as well. The counting stats that I didn't expect are actually there this year. He's probably somebody that is at least worth checking in your leagues if everybody's not on. He could probably be a hold going forward.
Awesome. Indiana Pacers, mate, they play the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix, they've showed a bit the last couple of weeks with your boy Grayson Allen, really more than filling the void for Jalen Green there at Phoenix. They're playing an Indiana Pacers side who just got TJ McConnell back. They're starting to get a few back from injury, but they look a fair way off it at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, and like we probably always thought that this was a league, a team like this. What was I referencing? Like that Golden State Warriors team. I know that they won the comp, and then they had some early injuries, and then they just threw in the towel, and they went and got. Admittedly, they used their second pick for James Wiseman, but I do think that this is basically a tanking team. TJ McConnell, I think, is rosterable. He was 6 of 12 in his first game. And the assists have always been there, and he's just been that spark plug off the bench. So he's one you probably can look at. Isaiah Jackson. I mean, roll the dice as to whether you think any of these centers are rosterable, but Isaiah Jackson for me is probably the best one. He's scored 12 points in his last couple games, had 10 rebounds in the last one, and can get you a couple steals. He had 2 steals in that one. He's probably one that I'm looking for from these Indiana guys. But yeah, you're right. These shit sort of teams do sort of allow for some decent streamers. Like even adding a Jay Huff, I never know whether he's going to get picked. Is it Tony Bradley? I never know whether he's going to be the guy that plays the 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to draw a line through all of them, but you can roll the dice if you've got the waiver wire ad and you can just drop them the next day. So
100%. The last game that we're going to talk about, mate, the Atlanta Hawks versus the Utah Jazz, who they're doing okay at the moment. Isaiah Collier's come back and he's proven to be a nice streamer off the bench. Atlanta were rolling today with Jalen Johnson, nearly a triple-double in 20-odd minutes. What do you think here with the Hawks? Because on a back-to-back, we'd say Kristaps Porzingis will probably miss, so Mo Gay is probably someone to look at. Anyone else?
Look, there's heaps of actual players from Utah that I want. It's Steve Mikhailuk. He's somebody that I think has been getting that extended burn. You already mentioned your Isaiah Collier. I think Steve Mikhailuk's probably a better get. He's played 28 and 27 minutes in the last couple.
He's been starting, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's been really good as well. Look, he wasn't on my radar to start the year. He was on my radar enough to practice saying his name, but not enough to add him in any teams. But I do think that Svai is somebody that I could get. Ace Bailey, I know that he's only 28% owned, despite being like 65% owned to start the year. Look, when he played his first probably 8 games and played one game above 20 minutes, I started to get some concerns, and I even dropped him in some leagues. But I've been picking him back up 24, 28, and 26 minutes in the last few games. 20 points, a career high in his last one, despite not too many counting stats. We'd all seen enough in the draft process to know that Ace Bailey was a talent.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been keeping an eye on the minutes as to whether I add him. And I think anything above 25 minutes is a win for Ace Bailey at the moment. And I think that'll only ramp up as he gets healthier. I suppose them easing him into this and him missing the first couple games injured just showed that it was injury related, not talent, not falling out of favor, not saying that he didn't want to go to Utah, whatever you want to call, and all the speculation that was at the start of the year. Hey, Mick.
Yeah, definitely. I like it. I like that shout. And he's someone that I've added in a few leagues already. I think that as the season goes on and Utah, they're not looking to win straight away, but they're going to want to get minutes into Ace Bailey. I think he could be more than handy when we're talking fantasy basketball. Now, you've been checking out the waiver wire, mate. Who's been added? Who's been dropped? Is there anyone that's tickling your fancy on there?
Yeah, and it is one, and we kind of inadvertently glossed over them. It was Colin Gillespie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's genuinely just as an assist streamer. If we look back at his last 4 games, he had 7 assists, 4 assists, 5 assists, and 5 assists. And I think back to the last couple games where he still got 5 assists, it was dominated by Grayson Allen. And Grayson Allen is a shooter. And as somebody that's watched probably more Grayson Allen than I'd like to admit, I actually have some signed Grayson Allen basketball cards
Nice.
if you really want a weird flex. But he's probably somebody that will just score 10 points one night and will absolutely suck. And then that's when Colin Gillespie's points and rebounds and usage will go up. But when he's not on, and you're always Booker can shoot 6% and he will still take the most amount of shots for this team. But Grayson Allen's been like a handy number 2. Colin Gillespie plays those minutes, has guys that he can pass it to. I do think as those minutes go up, he will be fine. And how those minutes are going to go up is from Grayson Allen just sucking. And that's going to happen at some stage. Like, I'm a huge Grayson Allen fan, but he's going to shoot 10% in one game. And that's when Colin Gillespie is going to come in and get his minutes. So if I did have to roll the dice on some guys, it is your TJ McConnells. It is your Colin Gillespies. It is, these guys that have proven as little as 2 weeks ago that they are, top 50 players. These are guys that I'm okay with adding.
Awesome. Love it. I reckon it's great. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've got anyone you'd like to ask about at home, we've got our Patreon up and running at the moment down below. The link is in the description. But for less than a third of a cup of coffee per week, that's right, per week, you get access to everything we do, our trades, our data, our analysis, Q&A around the clock. There's a lot of active people in our WhatsApp chat at the moment. Maddie, it's fairly buzzing all times of the day, isn't it?
I mean, so I work in the car industry, and I was doing a test drive today with these little old biddies. They were like 70, and I'm in the back. I'm just messaging about NBA Supercoach all fucking day. It's good. I do love there's a bit of Jokic glazing going on in there today with his 55 points today. But yeah, look, it's good. The chat absolutely hums. It's the best way to get in direct contact with us. We are, I suppose, answering questions all the time. And then if you can't get us, it just puts you in line with, a few hundred of people that live and breathe fantasy basketball. So you want to add a poll about the trades that you're interested in and everything like that. You add them in and you get people that are genuinely engaged in the NBA fantasy community. And that's something that I've probably been pretty proud about since starting the podcast. It's just putting people together, chatting about NBA fantasy. We've been writing articles. It's all humming over here at Ball Logic.
Yeah, 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do us for today. If you haven't yet, thumbs up, like, subscribe, bell if you haven't already. If you're listening to us on audio, 5-star reviews help us get out into the ears of those that love a bit of banter with their NBA fantasy knowledge. But we will be back tomorrow because, as we can see on our daily chart, we've got 9 games on Friday or Saturday here in Australia, followed by another low volume day, which is going to be another day that we're going to want to target with our waivers. But for now, this has been Mattrix. He's only got through 1 stubby while we've been going. I think he's not real happy with that.
Nah.
2. There you go. It's gone for 14 minutes. Sorry. We're gone for 14 minutes. It's at least 2. You're right. On the horse. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheerio.